It began with hushed whispers along the railway lines of the Cape Flats in South Africa. A missing boy here, another there. Before long, an entire community was gripped by a paralyzing fear of a phantom they called the Station Strangler between 1986 and 1994. A shadow fell over the region, a darkness that targeted the most vulnerable young boys, aged just 9 to 13, started vanishing. The pattern was chillingly consistent. They would disappear on their way home, their last known location always near a train station. Days, sometimes weeks later, the search would end in heartbreak. Their small bodies were discovered in shallow, hastily dug graves, always buried face down, with their hands bound tightly behind their backs. The cause of death was always the same: strangulation. The community was in a state of terror, wondering who could be committing such monstrous acts. After nearly a decade of relentless fear and a massive police investigation, a breakthrough came in 1995. The man arrested was the last person anyone would suspect: Norman Afzal Simons, a well-regarded primary school teacher. He was known for being calm, soft-spoken, and intelligent, perfect mask for the monster lurking beneath. Eyewitnesses placed him near the train stations where several of the boys had last been seen. A search of his home uncovered a trove of horrifying evidence: items of children's clothing, lengths of rope similar to those used on the victims, and disturbing diary entries. These writings revealed a deep, unsettling obsession with a younger brother he had lost years before. Under interrogation, Simons confessed, but only to one murder. Yet, the police and the community suspected the true number of victims was far higher, possibly exceeding 20. The trial concluded, and Norman Simons was sentenced to life in prison. The people of the Cape Flats breathed a collective sigh of relief, believing the nightmare was finally over. But here, the story takes an even more sinister and perplexing turn. Even with Simons behind bars, the horror didn't stop. Another young boy disappeared under identical circumstances, his body later found in the same ritualistic manner. This raised terrifying questions that still linger today. Was there a copycat killer inspired by the Strangler's notoriety? Or, even more disturbingly, had the police convicted the wrong man? Some investigators and locals have long held a different theory: that this was never the work of a single individual, but a coordinated ring of predators using the sprawling network of train routes to carry out their horrific crimes and evade capture. To this day, the complete, unvarnished truth remains buried, lost somewhere in the shadows of the past. Decades have passed, but the story of the Station Strangler has become a dark and cautionary legend woven into the fabric of the Cape Flats. Parents still pass down the warning to their children: never walk alone near the station after dark. The name itself is enough to send a shiver down the spine, because sometimes, when the wind is just right and the rumble of a passing train fades into the night, some say you can still hear a faint, chilling whistle on the breeze. And if you dare to listen too closely, you might just hear the sound of footsteps gaining on you from behind. This has been the chilling true story of the Station Strangler, a case that continues to haunt the rails of South Africa. Thank you for joining us at Starish Education Hub, where knowledge meets the unknown. If you were brave enough to make it to the end, show your support by hitting that like button, subscribing for more stories, and sharing this with someone who needs a reminder that real monsters do exist. Until next time, stay safe and stay aware.